So in today's video, we're going to talk about several tips that actually lead to players winning, and we're going to center most of the tips around communication and things you can do to be a better teammate and things you can do to make your teammates better teammates. So the overall goal is for your team to win more engagements and eventually win more matches. I know a lot of people have been taking advantage of this over on the community Discord, where we're up to like 5,000 members, and it's crazy how many people are messaging me saying that they're getting more wins with people from the community Discord. So I definitely recommend you checking it out. It's gonna be one of the top links down in the description. If you enjoy this type of content, want to find your way back, make sure you hit the like button. Goal in today's video, 1,000 likes. And if you're brand new looking to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, just make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and that'll be as easy as possible. So we're gonna skip up here and you're gonna listen to the call outs, and then I'm gonna talk through some of those call outs immediately after. Oh, right here. Live marker.
Ignore that.
I have a foul and that's it, by the way. So I'm not gonna be able to do anything crazy. Oh,
there's a guy on. He just jumped down right next to them. I'm gonna try and go up top.
Yeah,
one dead.
Downed another.
Guy alone.
Down. Those guys are on the building there.
Guys right there.
Right there.
I didn't even see that.
Team wipe.
These guys are coming down. Yeah, they're geared and they got loadouts.
So that's the first part. Let's go ahead and look at what is happening in this particular clip. So I'm going to kind of stop each time there's something where it relies on good communication and things that I don't see enough happen. And I've played with a lot of different people. I've played with randoms. I've played with IRL friends. I've played with a lot of other YouTubers, streamers, and everyone is good and bad at communication. Just depends on their individual play style and how they want to play and how open they are communicating. So sometimes it's good to be a good teammate and tell them that you need more information from them, because it's not always the case where they say something and you understand exactly what they're saying, or vice versa. You say something and they understand completely what you're saying or know what's going on with your head. So personally, I'm always a fan of over communicating, whereas some people, they don't communicate at all. So you got to kind of identify your strengths and your weaknesses and kind of work on those things so you can be a better teammate. So let's go ahead and talk about this aspect first. So we're coming around, we spot the guy. Before shooting, I basically call him out.
Oh, right here.
So we're all on board. We weren't even in position. We're all kind of out in the open. We don't know where everyone's at. So I'm giving the call out before firing that shot. Some people take the shot. That guy is immediately able to get to cover. MP7 out. Probably not going to beam that dude. Have the Bruin out when I switch weapons. But even then, that's not going to be the best if it's a floor loot weapon. Best opportunity is maybe even a sniper or a creative class weapon that I've had from my own individual loadout. So we got the communication. You're going to hear him say which weapon he has. He has a foul, and that's it. So there's a certain expectation of what you're able to do. And sometimes I don't think people do a good enough job of doing that. They'll get into engagement, everyone gets wiped, and then they'll go, all I had was a pistol. Well, didn't tell no one that you didn't have any loot. I could have dropped the gun for you. I have two of them. I have an MP7, which is very versatile, and then I have a Bruin. I could have dropped at least one of my weapons. He says he has a foul, so he's got to kind of stick close to his teammate, and the teammate's going to be aware of what's going on. A lot of times people aren't communicating those things, and they don't tell their teammate exactly what's going on. And keep in mind, there's going to be good communication and not so good communication throughout the gameplay, which we'll talk about. So I tell him exactly what's happening.
I'm gonna try and go up top.
I'm telling him I basically have a line of sight. Now I'm coming around. They're marking him. He got downed. He's with his teammate there. There's a guy coming down. I tell him I downed one. So they killed one. I downed the other.
On the building there.
Guys right there.
See? He says where, and then he ends up telling him exactly where he's at. So he ends up marking the guy again. Team wipe that guy.
Yeah, they're good.
And then
they got loadouts.
He says they got loadouts, and when you're experienced at the game, sometimes when you just get shot by a bullet, a lot of time, or from gunfire, you can hear the audio. You know that they were using suppressed weapons. Whatever the case is, you can kind of have a good idea that these people already have loadouts, and they've gotten loadouts rather quickly, even though there's 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left before the free loadout comes in. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this portion of the gameplay.
Where?
Where I marked. Where I marked.
They got a UAV too?
One standing still up there.
Yo, we need to go.
One's
and
close.
Get let's
Laying
go
down.
Out. Let's go back.
We got to push back. Yeah.
Oh my.
John.
I'm right.
So everyone's kind of committed to going back over here, re-positioning for this gunfight.
pop a UAV.
I call a UAV right away because I have money. We have over 29,000, and I have to
Somebody's going for a
reposition so
flank?
that we can make sure. I'm already calling this guy out. I'm going for the guy who's going for a flank. If I wait to get my loadout, this guy's going to come around. I'm already thinking ahead of what this guy is doing based off the red dot, which you can see on the top left. Over here, this little red dot, I saw that the guy was flanking. These ones are all up top, and this guy looks like he's trying to go for the sneaky play over here, and I'm not going to let him. So I'm giving that call out. My teammates are aware of it. Now they can triple push the other team. So it's a 3-on-3, and I'm able to get this flank.
Oh, hurry up and drop.
The broke one's armor, destroyed him on the back end for the flank.
So now it's a 4v3. I mount up.
Broke
Take one down.
He's down right there. There's another one coming around.
All dead.
So I'm
All right,
already
nice.
marking it. Where I
I
have that
could've rezzed you.
communication. I'm already kind of telling them, hey, they're coming around this way. So it's making it work out in that scenario. So now let's go ahead and skip ahead. So right here, there's another scenario. We've already looted up. We kind of gone through. There's a couple other things that happened, but now I grabbed a vehicle and then we're working up on this position.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes.
And this is going to be a example of good communication as well as could have been better communication, right? We're gonna look at this. So I come through, pick them up, says thank you for the pickup, and then now we're coming through. I have a trophy on top. We're coming through, and we're looking to
Okay, I
go
think
at
I'm
this
gonna go
bounty.
straight
We are
and
kill
use this
hunting.
wall as cover. I
A
don't know
lot of
exactly
times
where
when
they
you're
are. You guys
streaming
can
or
jump out
uploading
whenever.
content, people want to see you go for kills.
Nope.
While getting a win, which is significantly harder than just going for a win. So we're coming through. I'm going for a flank. And the reason why I've gone this route around is because that allows my teammates to kind of push up, get closer. When if anyone in this building, they're paying attention to the vehicle. So that's kind of what I was trying to do by going extended around. You saw Scopes was going in first. I dropped off the other two that are over here on the right-hand side of the screen behind my webcam. And then pretty much I'm coming up and they should be expecting me coming around this corner. I'm asking kind of for call outs. And they didn't really say, hey, they're right here, because I'm coming up around the way. I said, I'm not hearing them. I'm not seeing them. What's going on?
Area in between.
He told me exactly where they're at, so I'm pushing up. I got dead silence. It's going to take me a little time to get there.
I'm coming around. I
Bro.
have dead silence.
No, there's no one to the right.
Oh, behind. I broke his armor.
There's one more.
I'm coming out right now. Where's he at?
I've just knocked 2 of you. Oh my god, all 3 of them were coming up. All
Got
3
him.
of them came through the door.
So I make the play, right? But what ends up happening is the comms got a little bit cluttered there, right? They went really good, solid. But when they said there's one left, he said it could have said he's outside and maybe I would have jumped out a different angle. I could have played it a little bit more aggressively. Go ahead and listen again. And when I notified where exactly the last guy is, once they get down, they just say I'm getting down. See, there's someone to the right, behind.
There's one more.
One more. I didn't know exactly where the one more was.
2 of you.
So I seen the guy underneath.
Oh my
I back off, let him fire, jump out, and then I take on the kill.
Came through the-
So there's things that maybe it could have done a little bit better. Obviously, there's always certain scenarios. Maybe I could have communicated that I'm in like 5 seconds out, 8 seconds out. They could have said, oh, they're outside by the rails, down the stairs. There's a couple different communicating factors there. So it's not always perfect, even though we're a pretty solid group of people that are going to communicate pretty regularly. There's almost always opportunities to communicate a little bit better in this situation. We might have been able to save Scopes. He wouldn't have been thirsted if I would have came out a little bit quicker. But I kind of hesitated because I thought there was somebody on the right-hand side. So I kind of peeked it really quick since I didn't get that clarification. But I also could have said, where's the last guy? And been a little bit more assertive. So there's little factors in there. We still end up clutching it up. I'm able to revive them. And then we're able to buy back Scopes at the buy station. And we're going to skip a little bit forward. So right here, it ends up being a little bit unfortunate. Things go south pretty quick. Even when you're doing the things the right way, you're positioning, all that type of stuff. Sometimes when you're going for kills, it just ends up being bad. So one thing that you really got to be aware of is just keeping your cool when things go south, because there ends up being 2 teams that I run into here. We just came from airport, but there was people a little bit north of where I'm at now to the right, and they kind of moved down because of the zone. So there ends up being a guy here. There's another teammate on the right over here. And then as we come down, I was thinking that's the whole team. But there's a second team over here, 4 players, and they're all shooting at the vehicle.
Damn it,
My
man,
whole
that
team
was
gets
horrible.
wiped. And then
There was two teams.
we end up getting kind of screwed there. I go and buy him back from the buy station.
Yep.
So I buy him back. The other two have gulags, so we just gotta wait for that. I'm holding on to the money. I could have bought a
I got you back in,
UAV,
yep.
but I'm trying to save
Those
at least a
other
little
teams
bit
are
of the
fighting
cash in case I need to buy
Yep.
back my teammates if they don't win the gulag. So that's kind of unfortunate part
fighting
right
them at
there
all.
that they have
on the other
gulag,
side.
but
You
that
might be able to land
I
a
could have bought
loadout.
them right away. So I mean, there's different variables there that you got to be aware of.
Draw their attention. Do you have a UAV at all?
So I heard the footsteps down low. He's asking if I have a UAV. I couldn't buy one because, like I said, I'm worried about buying back one of my teammates if they don't both win their gulag. I do hear footsteps, and then look at how this plays out.
I hear him underneath. No, I don't.
Okay, Johnny's looking mid.
And 3 times.
A little bit of timing. He helps me out.
Yep.
Thanks.
Requesting recon on my position.
Oh, man.
UAV entering the AO.
Oh shit. I might die here.
Send explosive.
So the reason why I end up doing this particular way is I assume that this guy who kills me had a second C4, which he didn't end up having a second C4. So I didn't really notice this guy on the right-hand side in the heat of the moment. I was only focused on this guy on the left side. So when I peek, I'm backed up and I'm thinking this vehicle is going to provide cover for me as I run across. But unfortunately, there ends up being a guy on this right side that it looks like Scope was involved with, but I didn't realize in the moment. A lot of things happen really quick and the comms were not crisp in this particular moment. Maybe I could have said, hey, can I move to? But inevitably, this guy had a C4. As you can see, he hits me with the one C4 and in the kill cam, you can see he has a second C4. So no matter what, odds are he was going to try and clear me out with the second C4. You can see he has 2 right here on the bottom in his inventory. So me thinking that he had 2, inevitably it was right. And the guy's running MP5 Growl, which is pretty much what everyone is using in Modern Warfare, at least in those higher bracket games. And they're on the ground. The other one drops on him. You can see he comes through. Just ends up being good timing. There's some smoke. The green one coming in right now, prop. He's gonna glide right on this dude. Come in, melee on him, in the smoke, guy's distracted, get the ghost class, and then pretty much we recover from that. And I think a lot of times teammates aren't giving good kudos to each other, like, good job, well played. A lot of times people can get pretty toxic that I've played with. They end up focusing on their own death. Like, oh, where were you at? Why didn't you do X, Y? Is like, well, you know, teamwork goes both ways. It's always something to remember.
I know.
So
At least I got him.
Yeah,
we're still in the moment. We're coming out of this. We end up clearing the people on the
We have
top.
enough
They
for a
fought each
UAV.
other. And now we're going to move into this next section before we get into the final zone.
I picked it up off of one of the guys that I beat to death.
Oh, okay. So but you dropped it.
Oh wait, no, we're far enough apart. Oh.
Is the tough trip, yo? How you doing today, brother? Let's.
So we felt like there was 2 teams because we had the
Cracked one up top.
bounty, plus there's people
I don't know
coming
where the
in.
other one went. He ran. Killed the bounty.
That was good because then we come up with money.
Whoa, I got shot from behind.
They're all flashed. They're all flashed. They're all flashed up there.
He's down right here.
Yo, upstairs. One left up top.
He thirsted me.
Broke his armor, got him.
Nice.
Oh,
All right, so the thing with the communication, I marked where my guy was as I went down. I marked him. I probably could have played it while he threw the 2 C4. Again, I expected the guy to throw C4. That's kind of why I stood there after he threw the first one, didn't run in and get blown up by it. I knew he'd throw 2, blow it up. As I came around, I pre-aimed. I lost that gunfight because I didn't have any plates on. I had 1 plate available, but I didn't plate up. And then I mark him. And the second scopes those down, he says, last one up top. So that was very specific and very clear, which was drastically different than we saw in the previous gunfight where we were over there by the railing. He says there's one guy and you can see they both jump out, shooting exactly where that is, and they end up taking the last guy out. It's a squad wipe. They come back with enough cash, and they're able to bring me back.
On the roof.
So now I'll kind of talk through some of these comms.
He's behind the AC.
Yeah.
So he's behind
Yeah, I
the
can
AC
move. I
unit,
can,
giving
get a
clear
shot.
direction. I'm going for a flank.
Inside.
And you can see that we're kind of like a two-player split. We're not literally hugging all four of us together. We can pull up a different angle.
Down on him.
Huh?
There's just
And pretty much beam the guy, team wipe, call it out. And then there ends up being another guy behind us at the blue right here.
Just dropped.
J-Dubs, he ends up marking. I'm coming through.
He's one hit. I got him down.
He says he got him down.
Tried to finish
I
him.
got a hit marker there.
You guys, but I need my loadout.
Oh, there's another one crossing on this left
Closing
side.
position.
Yep, I hit him. I hit him.
Where's your down?
To the right somewhere. In the gas.
So the guy
Guys, can we push
self-res
it?
and he
There he is.
came out. I heard the cough.
Safe zone relocated.
Down.
Thirsted.
Got the other guy down. Another one.
Hit him. He's right behind that pillar.
Yeah.
I just marked to get rid of my marker.
Nice.
That's team wipe.
So that's clear part 2. Because sometimes when you fire at a location, if you put a marker, it kind of blocks the visibility because of the prioritization of players versus markers. It's a huge issue in multiplayer, especially with objectives. It'll kind of cover a teammate, cover a player. Your teammates behind walls, nameplates will cover enemies. So there's all kinds of issues that are wonky with that. So I told them I moved the orange marker just so that they end up knowing where that guy was, that I didn't change the marker, that the guy is still behind that little barricade.
Players.
I'm gonna go get some
So everyone's
ammo.
Giving the
Full
call
squads.
outs, full squads, 3 teams, 12 players, everyone's a full squad. I'm picking up Ghost here, swapping out my weapons. I still have the MP7.
We can. There's
Team up here,
yeah.
Yeah, let's rotate around this side. We need to get up on that roof. Oh no.
Yep. Yep. That's the terrible.
So again,
Nope, we'll
even though it's a different team, we ended up splitting naturally into 2s. Normally, you never kind of want to split off on your own. Obviously, if you're in these kill races, wagers, you're going to do whatever you're going to do to try and maximize those kills. But normally, even if you're in quad, you should never split up and be a solo or running off on your own, just because you end up getting down so easily. You cost your team $4,500 to bring you back, especially at this point in the game. The gulag's closed. And maybe you already lost your gulag because that's kind of how it goes, or you won it and that part of the match is already over. Now you're in a position where everyone needs to be alive, and if somebody gets downed, you're a lot less likely to get thirsted if your teammate is literally a foot away or a couple feet away or a couple meters or whatever, where they can actually take out the guy or at least put suppressive fire so that you can get off your self-revive and get in a position where you can replate back up and get back into a gunfight. So a lot of times people get the self-revive. If you're going to run off solo, though, there's almost no point. You're going to get thirsted, you're going to get down, and then basically you're no use to your teammates because, again, I end up having to buy you back. And in this scenario, we're not really in a position to get to that buy station to buy anyone back. So anyone who gets down and thirsted, that's basically a significant detriment to the team. I was kind of standing out there with their team shooting. I went to go revive him, expecting that he's not going to jump back around the corner.
Nope, he didn't.
I have 1 armor plate, FYI.
Giving a call out, armor plates. Sometimes people don't do that. I drop my armor plate for him.
No, sir.
I have 1 I could drop for you.
They're peeking. Broken armor.
They're getting destroyed. There's 1 on the roof.
Watch blueprint.
2 are down. 2 are down.
There's 1 on the roof.
3 down, 3 down, 1 on the roof.
Yeah, there's 2 on roof. 2 on roof. 1 right here. Peeking.
Incoming. Take cover.
See, so he marked it blue, so there's actually 2.
Oh, guy right here. I'm down. No.
He was expecting those guys to come around.
To the right behind us. Oh, right there.
I downed him. He's
Yeah,
down.
okay. Nice
Yep.
job. Okay.
2 full teams, 8 players left, right?
I'm getting shot by another team. He's down.
Remember, there's the guy on the roof still, guys.
Yeah, now I see him. He's looking at us.
You guys to jump off, right? Yeah, he's in a good spot though.
Hey.
I have to use the airstrike to get them off my back. Broken armor. Got one.
I'm just making sure he doesn't go for the flank.
Got another.
He's still sniping up top here.
Yeah, he's right there.
On my mark.
Here.
I can't get a line of sight.
I'm getting hit. Direction.
I'm
Gonna
out
be
of
one
red
guy.
plates.
Pushing you in a second, John, probably.
So I kind of had to shoot that guy. I didn't know who he was aiming at, but I didn't want to down his teammate. And then I went down behind
There,
cover
guys.
so they couldn't see me right away.
Right
And then we start getting third party, but we're in a good spot.
Downed him.
I'm down.
Guy has a riot
I got
shield
another
too,
one.
which is
I
kind of
can
annoying.
self-res.
Thirsted him.
Maybe
That
you guys
guy's
can get
mad.
me? Jump over. It's up to you. No, I'm not gonna risk it.
Relocating the safe
We have a
zone.
trophy system down there too.
Straight ahead. No, yeah, just self-raise, John.
Yeah, I'm just,
2 teams. 3 players.
Behind there.
Yep. But,
Head for the safe zone.
oh, two guys pushing me right behind us.
Destroyed him.
Got one.
The left.
Go
One
on.
behind.
One left.
One left. Where's he at? There it is.
And that was it.
GG's.
So a lot of times people wonder like how you'll make it look. Not every match is going to be that easy. It really just depends on how well you communicate and how far you guys are split up as a team. I think a lot of people make the common misconception that your teammates know what you're thinking. Odds are they do not know what you're thinking unless you've played with them a significant amount of time, or you're just comfortable running solo quads and you could just run over a lobby, which is a very few number of people that are actually capable of doing that. So I wouldn't bank that your teammates know how to do that, especially if you're playing as randoms or with randoms. So hopefully you guys like this style of the gameplay breakdown. It was a little bit different. I'm trying to mix it up, try and see what you guys are liking, not liking. If you prefer this style where I kind of go back over some of my previous gameplay with individual commentary that's already in there, let me know by hitting the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. You want to catch a live stream where I'll do this live on stream for subscribers, make sure you do follow my Twitch, which is again linked in the description, and join the Discord if you want to play with people that actually will communicate instead of randoms that don't probably have a mic. Appreciate all the support on the content. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.